One other way to move, rotate, or scale a 3D object is to use numeric values. See how that's done? Go to Working Files, open up Photoshop Projects, and then open up Move Numeric. I'm going to work with our wine bottle again, and also with this globe that we've seen before if you've watched all the tutorials up to this point. What I want to do is I want to adjust the position and the scale and the rotation of this wine bottle using numeric values. So to do that, I need to select the wine bottle and have the Move tool selected. So I press V for the Move tool. It automatically, by default, selects the wine bottle like that, but it says scene here, not wine bottle. So you do need to change to wine bottle here to make sure that when you work with the numeric values, you've got the wine bottle selected. If I went over here and clicked inside there, that would change it to wine bottle as well. So there you go, wine bottle is selected. Now I go to the wine bottle's properties, and under properties, I'm going to switch from mesh to coordinates. These are the coordinates for the wine bottle. And right now all the values are the default values. I made this wine bottle using a preset and haven't moved it since I made it, and so the position is 0, 0, 0 in the X, Y, Z coordinates. The rotation is 0, 0, 0, and the scale is 100%, top to bottom. So let's change the scale. I can change the scale, let's say, in the X value, meaning making it wider. So if I go over here and hover my cursor over X, I get the little scrubby tool, the little finger with the double arrow there. It means I can just click and drag to increase it like that. One reason that you use numeric values is to be precise. I could do the same thing over here, just drag it like that and scale it that way. And that's not exactly precise, that's just eyeballing it. So if I want to be precise about it, if I want, let's say, to have this thing match something else in terms of the scale, I can put in a number here exactly. So I'll put in 150%. As I type it in, it changes, but I do need to hit enter or return to make sure we do get that guy locked in. So there you go, now it's wider. I can tell that it's wider if I rotate it. So I'm going to rotate it here on the y-axis using this value over here. So I'm going to change the rotation here to, let's say, to 45 degrees. Press the enter key. There you go, now it's rotated. You can see that it's a little bit fatter this way and thinner this way. I make it taller on the y-axis. So I'm going to change this to, let's say, 150% as well. You do notice that some of these numbers do change a little bit as you put them in. Really small changes, incremental changes like that. That's just one little bug here in terms of how you type in numbers. Now we've made it taller, and it's still thick in that one direction, but it's also now tall as well. If I want to, let's say, change the position, obviously I could change the position just by dragging it around like this, but I can also do it numerically here. Notice how those numbers change there. Let's say I just change the number to something like 100 now. Drag it across there, like so. Type in 100, and notice how it moves, but I do need to lock that number in by pressing enter, return, or tab even. That'll lock it in for us. I want to tip it exactly 90 degrees, which is helpful. Go over here and type in 90 degrees. Press enter or return. And the same thing for Z. If I take Z, I can rotate it exactly as well. I'll do 45 degrees for that. Press enter. There you go. So we got these exact amounts that we can put in. So if we have multiple objects, we can give them the same, let's say, X value or Y value to have them all line up. What about when we work with a 3D model and it has multiple meshes? Let's go down here to the globe. Turn off the wine bottle. If you've seen this before, you know that we have multiple meshes here. This globe is from Turbo Squid. The artist's name is Frank E.R. Sciotto. Not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but Frank E.R. Scutto. And this is the only model that he's submitted to Turbo Squid at this point. At any rate, it has multiple meshes. In other words, multiple elements to this one 3D model. To see all the meshes, just click over here on Meshes. There you go. I want to just move, let's say, these two rings here. This ring that way, the horizontal one and the vertical one. So if I click on the vertical crossbar and Control or Command click on the horizontal crossbar, I've got both of them selected. Now I could change their scale or rotation or position just down here and drag them around. But I want to change them numerically. So as long as they're both selected, I'll just go over here to Properties and switch over to the coordinates. And I'm going to change the X value to 200%, which will mean that this horizontal bar will get much wider and the vertical bar will get a little thicker. We're going to type in 200%, 200, press the Enter key. There you go. And now I'll make this one thicker this way and this one taller by taking the Y value and making that 200%. So that's how you can adjust two things at once. So even though this model has several meshes, you can select some number of meshes and change them as a group numerically. So that's how you work with numeric values to change the scale, rotation, and position of 3D objects.